If you look at the history of luxury SUVs in India, the Audi Q7 will be a very familiar name. Right from the first generation which started selling in India, it was a runaway success and really helped settle the Audi brand in the Indian market. Second generation has done quite well, but this is the facelifted Q7. This is the latest version and it brings about a lot of changes. New features, a petrol engine is the only option that you can get. And today we are driving it to find out how does the petrol engine work, are the new features worth it, and how does the Q7 feel overall. We'll answer all your questions about the Q7 in this review.
You're watching the AutoX YouTube channel. You can also get your daily dose of all things automotive on our website, autox.com, and follow us on social media. Don't forget to check out our monthly magazine and make sure to hit the bell and subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
When it comes to design, the design changes between the first gen Q7 and the second gen Q7 were massive, but this is a facelift. So the changes are not that big. The first thing you'll notice is the big new grille. This is inspired from the Q8 and I think it gives the Q7 an aggressive, unique identity. What people will love a lot more though are the LED matrix headlights. These come with these dynamic indicators which are an absolute treat to look at. In profile, the Q7 largely remains the same. I think the 19-inch wheel choice is very good because it fills the arches quite nicely and the sidewalls still remain big enough that you don't have trouble on our bad roads with bad ride or with tire issues. This Quattro badging is new, which is interesting. I quite like the blue color. I think in this color the Q7's design really stands out, and I have to admit when this generation the Q7 first came out, I wasn't a very big fan of the design, but the design has grown on me. I think it looks like a mature, a balanced SUV. Like I said earlier, not too many changes, so the rear also remains largely similar to the earlier car. Some extra chrome and of course the LED tail lights with the dynamic indicators. Overall, when it comes to design, I think the Q7 is a pretty classy looking car and is not as aggressive as the earlier versions used to be, which is a good thing in my book. Of course, as you would expect from a premium SUV, the Q7 also comes loaded with features. Now, you get a panoramic sunroof, you get a 4-zone climate control system, which means all 4 passengers can change the climate control according to their preferences. You get these 2 big screens to control your air conditioning, some of the car settings, this for the navigation, for the multimedia. You also get an Audi virtual cockpit and like I said earlier, the matrix LED headlights, power front seats. So from that perspective, I think there's hardly anything that's missing from the Q7. When it comes to the interior design, I really quite like the new dashboard design and the finish that Audi is offering. This piano black finish works really well. The big almost spread across the dash, the AC vents. I think it's a pretty clean, nice design and the seats themselves are quite comfortable. The one thing I don't like is that virtually all controls are now through touchscreens, which, I mean, it's a pet gripe. I say this again and again. I hate using touchscreens when I'm driving a car, but I think there's hardly any getting away from it. Cars are getting more and more touchscreens, and that's what's in fashion now. On the mechanical side of things, like I mentioned earlier, the Q7 is now petrol only. The whole Volkswagen group only offers petrol engines in India, and the Q7 gets a 3-litre turbocharged petrol engine, 340 bhp, 500 Nm of torque, and you know the 500 Nm of torque comes at just under 1400 RPM. So that's where the engine and the gearbox of the Q7 really shine. If you're looking for performance, the Q7 is quick, the mid-range is fantastic, the engine likes to rev, the throttle response is very positive. In fact, even the steering has a decent amount of feedback. So from that perspective, the Q7 feels really good to drive. It also has standard fit air suspension, which means the ride quality on bad roads is quite good. It's very stable at high speeds. And to be very honest, I am struggling to find things that are negative with the Q7. Yes, I don't like the touchscreens, or rather that virtually all controls are through touchscreens. That's something that I don't personally prefer. One thing that is a bit of a problem with the Q7 on our roads is it gets some ADAS functioning. It gets a lane indicating system. It tells you when you're about to exceed into the following lane, and this active lane assist, sometimes it sends you feedback through the steering. It tries to correct you to keep you in one lane. Sometimes it doesn't work as accurately on our road conditions. One reason for that is sometimes the lanes are not marked accurately, and second is that when you're trying to change lanes yourself, it sometimes interferes, which is something I really dislike. The third thing I could say about the Q7 is that it'll probably not be attractive to some customers who are diesel lovers or who prefer the efficiency and the running cost of diesel, but that's a group choice and there's nothing that can be done about that. Overall though, I think the new Q7 is a pretty compelling product. It looks quite good. I like the design. Like I said earlier, I think it's matured very well. I like the interiors. The quality feels fantastic. It now comes fully loaded with a lot of technology, and it is a pretty good car to drive. So when Audi launches this sometime in January, this is the end of December, we have an embargo till mid-January. When Audi launches the car, if it's priced well, I think it's a pretty strong contender in the segment, which is intensely competitive, because if you look at what the Q7 competes with, the GLE, the X5, the XC90, all of them are really, really good cars. So it's another strong competitor in a very, very closely fought segment. But if you're looking for a big SUV, the new Q7 with the standard fit air suspension with the petrol engine is a very good package that you should definitely consider.